It's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m. Well, it's Mark and Cindy, they've got a morning show. Every day I listen in.
Good morning, everybody in Montgomery County, Texas. We are here live and so happy to be here because yesterday we felt too bad to be here.
I tell you, when the Mark and Cindy show when the co-hosts don't show up, you know it's bad outside. And
that's right.
We sure thought it was anyway. We had no idea.
We believed what they told us on TV. It was
know.
Channel 13 and Channel 2 and Channel 11 and the Fox station that told us that. So,
how does a Fox go? Do you? By the way, my mailbox was frozen, Cindy. It was.
You couldn't open it.
So, and I said, "Hey,
there was no mail carrier.
I'm not going out if my mailbox is frozen."
You know, but the postman in their car did drive by and deliver the mail yesterday. So it is true they would go out in anything, but there are like dagger-like icicles hanging off the roof right here. And so everybody needs to be aware if you come and look in the window to watch us do the show. That's just scary because that's going to eventually melt and somebody's going to get it right in the head.
Cindy, you didn't ask me, but I was coming home from Austin in 1993, and there was this big freeze out, and they had these icicles this long. Y'all can't see if you're just listening now, but they're pretty dang long, hanging from the guy wires crossing the street. And I would be driving, I'd see just one fall, crunch, and they're pointed.
They are point sharp.
How do people not get killed? I mean, I never got hit, but I was thinking, holy cow, that could really hurt people.
No, it could. So we've got to put out a warning.
We
Richard.
need to.
Listen, I got up so early this morning, and I was ready, and I took the kids to school, and I went by IHOP. I was hungry. I was so hungry.
Isn't that neat? Breakfast out?
I had one pancake. I had hash browns, a piece of ham, a piece of bacon, a piece of sausage, and grits, and that's what I had for breakfast. 2 eggs. Oh, no, 1 egg. Everything was one.
Okay.
You can get
the
one.
1. But you have to be real old to get that.
Well,
no, you don't. You have to be 50, 55, something like that.
They didn't card me. I can tell you that. They just said, "Sure, lady, we'll get you that. That's what you want.
What got
that's what
into your mind to do that?
I was hungry, but it wasn't as bad as when Sam had a convention in Doral, in Florida, at this, it's like a
rock and roll convention.
No, it's with his company. But Doral is a big golfing community resort, and so we went there. And I didn't have anything to do during the day. He went to his convention, and I went to around the. I'm going to hit that. I knocked that hot chocolate
cocoa
everywhere
off the table, and I'm sorry, I just.
But anyway, so he left, and that morning, and I called room service because that's like the most fun thing in all the world to do, and I ordered steaks and pancakes and hash browns and grits, all this stuff, and French toast. So when the guy came and brought it in, he stood there and he looked down at the food and he looked around. And I realized what he was thinking, so I went to the bathroom door and went, "Honey, breakfast is here."
Cindy, you are such a
I felt so bad
a tricker girl.
Well, he looked like,
that's terrible.
Are you going to eat all this yourself?
Well, you are so shrewd.
No. Anyway, but I love breakfast, and you get a good breakfast.
I do too.
You feel
you
good the rest of the day.
Pretty much so, until you run right into that wall and the car hits. But today, speaking of super shows, Cindy, today might be one. I don't know. I've got so much stuff down here about a girl that has a 3,000-foot fall and survives it, about Air Force people cheating, and they're the people with their hand on the button.
True.
Anyway, and about potatoes. And also gadgets on cars, old and new. Doyle Driver, an elderly, he's probably not much older than me, writer of the Courier Monday mornings. He writes things that take you back, reminisce. And there are things about automobiles I think we'll share with people. And then, of course, you've got your...
I have some fun things.
The male nude contest at where was that you were talking about? I made that up. I was
fourth place. Fourth
right
place
for day. How appropriate. Okay. Now,
it was so funny. Where was that again?
I don't remember.
Oh, it wasn't true?
Okay.
I streamed it.
Not true.
You didn't see the stream?
No.
From Lone Star Studios?
No.
There are so many things I could say
I do
with
not
these
know.
words that are coming out.
Okay.
We had a barbershop category, all the barbershop men.
The barbers came. Oh, that was a scary one. You go ahead.
I wasn't asked to judge or anything?
I
Okay.
can't.
Yeah, bestly groomed.
Okay. Well, see, so y'all tell me about these things because I want to be involved in the community things.
I feel bad that I even brought it up. So go ahead, please change the subject on it.
We're going to have a word association test. If test bothers you or scares you, game, we can do a word association.
Rutabaga.
And I'm going to give 10 words to Mark at lightning speed, and then you have to come up with the first word that comes to your mind.
Okay.
And then if you guys want to play along at home, do it and see how close you get to the way Mark thinks.
And this is going to tell me something about me?
Oh, we will. We will tell you what we think the association that you had, what it really means. Because this game was actually introduced by one of Charles Darwin's relatives. I thought it was his brother, but it may not be his brother. But he came up with this game to help. He was a psychologist. He was to help unlock what's in your subconscious mind.
Alexander Darwin?
I
have no idea. No, but I'm guessing.
Because his name was Jungle. So
Okay.
Jungle. So it's
Jungle
not
Jim.
his brother, but
it's
someone close to Charles Darwin. Anyway, the point is that it unlocks the mysteries of your subconscious.
It's something.
And we can't wait to
That's
unlock.
Scary.
To do that unlocking. We may want to lock it all back. It may be Pandora's box. I don't know, but we're going to do that today on the show.
See, now you got me scared.
Now, and also, I want to talk about the president's speech on the State of the Union, but in this way, from this angle, the production of it, and the way the people act, and some of the things that were in the audience. It was just pretty funny, and that's why I look at it. It's like when I watch the Academy Award. I don't care about who gets the award or anything like that, but I do care about what they wear and how they act whenever they put the camera on them. It's just like the Grammy Award, because Taylor Swift, Taylor
Swift, I think it is.
She thought she was going to win Album of the Year, and when she did not, the look on her face, because they have the camera on. Don't y'all remember they're going to put the camera on you? Quit it. She's won it 17 times or something, and so she should have known, act all happy for this person, but she got a look on her face like, what? And all of her people around her like, no, that was not your...
This is going to tell you something of my character also. When they show, like there's 5 people on the list, they show their pictures up there, not pictures, they're videotaping them and their expression. Cindy, I have to put my hand, up so I can't see the screen.
Because you're embarrassed for them?
I'm embarrassed for them.
You're just like Samantha, my daughter. Same thing. She goes,
really?
I'm uncomfortable. Turn it. When somebody tries to sing something off the cuff or do anything like that, she'll go like, I'm so embarrassed for them. It's terrible.
You have got to, you're supposed to look happy. Like I was watching the girl with the song I really liked. You gotta be brave. Anyway, what's her name?
Yeah, we played it one time between our.
Anyway, and whenever it was announced, I was just looking at her face because I didn't put it up this time. I wanted to see she was going to win, I thought, and she did not. But she just instantly burst into a smile and started applauding, and I thought, what an actress. This girl is good.
And she got to play with Carole King.
She did. Isn't that? Oh, gosh.
That's got to be like
and Carol,
so cool
lady,
for her.
She's still got her same voice.
Pipes, yeah.
Yeah.
She got them. Well, now, whenever you want to jump into any of these things, let me know. If you want to start with your stuff and then let me talk about the State of the Union.
Can I really?
Yes.
Hokey smokes. Okay, I was reading in Doyle Driver, like I say, and he brought up something that I've often thought of, but since he wrote about it first, I can't write about it now. He was talking about the cars the way they used to be, and brought up stuff I can't, I had forgotten about, and our young people will never know. Like, used to, Cindy, the car, you would put the key in the dashboard. The ignition was right there. You'd put it there, and now it's on the steering wheel. So when you break into a car, you've got to go under the steering wheel instead of under the dashboard. That's different.
And now you can key it in. I mean, you can just do your remote and start it.
And see, back then, they didn't even have those things.
They didn't know remote back then.
We had windshield wipers, and I'm not even sure when the advent of the spray came out of the windshield wiper, but I think we had some vehicles that didn't have that. I know my 54 Ford didn't.
But what about the smell?
The new car smell? It's still there, isn't it? It's not.
I don't think it's the same. Something changed in the smell.
I'm going to have to buy a new car and find out.
Yeah, and I think it would smell even better because of how much more they cost. But it's not true,
Mark. It's not. No,
that smell was everything when you were a little kid.
And I remember the first
gear shift
automatic. automatic transmission car we got. It was a 65 Tempest, Pontiac Tempest, 1965. We bought it new, $2,400. And that was, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. But the fact that it was power steering, I realized, man, I can take my driver's test in this. I could drive a stick, but I just didn't have that much confidence.
But that's what was so bad was we all took forever to learn how to do the stick and the clutch and the brake and all that stuff. I thought this is, I finally got this. And then they went to automatic and everybody started buying automatics. And I thought, I learned all that for what? But today, you or I could buy some really fancy car, and if it had a floor shift on the floor, it wouldn't be as apt to be stolen because the kids that steal don't know how to drive a stick shift.
What a point!
So I wanted to let you know that.
This girl is unbelievable. I mean, she knows the criminal world and all.
Oh, but that wasn't good.
Anyway, and used to the two-door cars, the front seats, you get in, you just lay them down. They would lay flat. There was nothing to unhook or anything, and that was pretty cool. But now you've got to, I've got to hit this, and then after you've got to reset the seat and all. So things were better back then, I think, with respect to that.
So much easier.
And you could take a nap on top of the back seats, and if you had a wreck, you would go through the windshield.
You'd just roll down, hit that.
So many things that the young people will not get to experience in life. Doyle, thank you for that.
My kids did surfing in the back of the Rambler we had. They would stand up and act like they're surfing. And
on the car seat?
Not my kids. We did that on the 61 Rambler. I just put my children in harm's way.
No wonder you got the old person meal, the senior meal at IHOP.
No, on the Rambler, and that was the most fun thing, is to act like you were surfing, standing in the back of the station wagon.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've moved on, and there are a lot of good things about the cars today, don't you think?
Oh, they're so much
better
than ever before.
About?
Well, I like cruise control. It has kept me from getting so many tickets, I think, because my mind, I'm driving. Well, you'll find out about my mind in a minute. I'm driving, and I'm wherever I'm thinking, and whoa, 110. That's bad. But with cruise control, what I have to do now, my Yaris, my little baby car, doesn't have cruise control. And this is something someone would call Heloise about. I've got a tip from Heloise. I don't have cruise control, so what I do is I find a car that's going the right speed, and I get behind it and follow it. Well, yeah,
there you go.
Who's not going to do that? I mean, that's what I do.
See, I usually find the one that's going the fastest and get behind them, so they'll get the ticket
They'll
first.
Get the
that's
ticket.
That's probably not the right way to do it, but I don't know. That's just me.
Well, and you were so polite to that police officer anyway. Normally, I knew this girl that said she just burst out crying, intentionally makes herself. Right. And she gets out of it.
Oh, okay. I did that when I was like 20 to 30. But when you get to be 65, it needs to be, you sure your grandmother's still alive?
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't give a ticket to your grandmother, would you? But no, I think you have to just be nice. The best thing that ever happened in getting a ticket, I have to say this, is I was speeding, and the guy pulled me over. And I went, and I have to tell Sam about this, the insurance, going through all that. I was so upset. And he came up there, talked to me, and made me feel bad. And then he went back to the car, and they waited. It took so long. I said, I'm not even warrants out or anything. Why is he doing this? But you start feeling like what could be happening to you. And he comes back and he goes, look, I'm going to let you off this time. And I guess I got to be honest. I can't find my book. I think I left it at home.
What?
I'm trying not to laugh at that and go like, well, that's okay. I understand. But I thank you for
Officer
stopping
Thompson.
me anyway. And I hope you find that. And thanks a lot. And left. It was great. That was the best
Cindy,
ticket I'd ever got.
I was thinking coming to work today, speaking of insurance, I haven't had a wreck, and I don't know when. Nothing's happened. And yet my insurance rate is there all the time. You would think, I'm paying almost $200 a month.
They should reward you.
They ought to reward me or at least cut it down. We're going to talk about not that next time when we come back in a minute. I do want to talk about PBS, and of course Cindy's got this stupid test.
No, we're going to do that later. Okay. But because I'm holding the audience off. But the cliffhanger is we're going to talk about the State of the Union address, and from a different angle. Okay.
Mark and Cindy Show, ladies and gentlemen, back in a sec.
She was morning and I was nighttime. I one day woke up to find.
The Conroe Art League is a nonprofit entity promoting the visual arts in Montgomery County. They've evolved over the last 49 years into one of the premier artist groups in the greater Houston area. The Conroe Art League is now permanently housed in the 100-year-old recently remodeled Madeley building in historic downtown Conroe. Exhibits of local artists, sculptors, and painters are changed periodically in the downstairs gallery with admission free to the public. Art classes and demonstrations in a variety of media are provided in the upstairs studios. The mission of the Conroe Art League is to encourage artistic development and cultivate an appreciation of the visual arts through education, exhibitions, and community outreach. For more information, call area code 936-756-9572 or visit their website at www.conroeartleague.com.
Tune in at 3 o'clock every Wednesday for Aperture and Shutter Speed with me, Tom Moore of TR Moore Photos.
And me, Dick.
If you are an amateur or expert, or if you haven't ever picked up an SLR camera before, Aperture and Shutter Speed is a show for anyone who loves photography and film.
Join the conversation with us by calling in or emailing us your questions. If you want to know what's coming up on Aperture and Shutter Speed, just look up our show page on irlonestar.com or look us up on Facebook.
Join us every Wednesday at 3 p.m. for Aperture and Shutter Speed, and remember, take your lens cap off.
Hi, I'm Joyce with the Corner Pub in downtown Conroe. We're located at the corner of Simonton and North Main, just across the street from the courthouse. The week starts off Monday with open mic hosted by Alan, and Tuesday nights open mic hosted by Jeremy Bankhead. And on Thursday evening, McFarland Jams. There's nightly drink specials available every night, all night. And don't forget, live entertainment every weekend. To see a full list of events, visit our website at thecornerpubinconroe.com. So come join us at the Corner Pub, where the deli is open late.
Softly said, come take me, for I've been lonely in need
Oh, don't you
of
love people when you're
someone.
listening to a song? You start singing along
Yeah.
and you go like,
Yeah,
you know what? I know Neil Diamond, and you're no Neil Diamond.
Yeah, especially when you got a voice like me. That's got to hurt. I'm sorry. But Neil
No,
Diamond,
it's not that.
sheesh.
It's just that you're trying to hear the original, but it's okay.
You know, while everyone was gone, Cindy got me to turn around and look at the icicles, and she's right. She saw one fall, and they're still there waiting for someone to come by and get it right
Walk
in
under,
the
as they're
right
trying
down
to.
their shirt thing.
Oh yeah, that would.
That would be.
Okay, that just gave me a
That
chill.
just
Okay, but
literally.
speaking of the weather, I think all the weathermen should be held accountable in some way for the drama that I understand you don't know exactly when stuff's going to happen, but when they do all this, I mean the stories they're running and all that keeps you feeling like this is it. You better go shop for 3 days because electricity's going to go off. You're going to have to go out and cut down trees in your yard to build a fire. I think it's too much, and then I know the schools get pressured into believing everything that they're saying, and that if one school, like if HISD closes, then you all better close off.
The
thing.
world,
I
the
feel bad
country is
for
so litigious. Like if they don't, and one thing happens, the children. Didn't you think of the children?
That's right.
Okay. Now the children have 2 days to make up.
That's what I hate.
Ice days, one from last week, one from now. I guess
The worst is the Conroe High School's making it one of their days on June 6th.
Oh my word!
That's not fair.
I didn't know that was
not
possible.
Fair.
Oh,
Let's just say
gosh.
July 4th.
They'll probably just
But,
let the
well,
teachers do it.
When do the kids from New York and New Jersey, all those kids, when do they go
Isn't
back to
that
school?
the
And
truth?
I mean, they may not get out until like July or August. They get out of school for their vacation, making up all those days.
I don't get it. You know, in
Well,
the
it's some days they get snowed in at school, so that's when they start making it up.
There you
Like,
go.
oh, you've been here for
Well,
8 hours?
there.
How about
Exactly.
another 8 hours?
How about another
I feel
pizza
bad for
sandwich? That wouldn't be
Yeah,
bad.
ours isn't bad.
Ooh, speaking of pizza, I guess that's going to be later when we talk about Super Bowl food because I'm interested in that.
In the pizza and what people are going to cook.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just get this out.
We
of the
got to
way.
get it.
We got to get it out of the way because it is the elephant in the room.
It's the elephant.
We
which is
have to
appropriate.
at least acknowledge that the president did get up and give a speech for the
did.
State of the Union,
He did.
and I don't feel we're all going to hell in a handbasket myself, and I think it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right. But the production of this thing, like, who is in charge of that? They've got every well-known Hollywood producer and Disney producer, anyone they want to bring in and say, how can we make this roll a little smoother and get this done? But they have this tradition, and I think it's all about tradition. I think it's all about that as they do the walk down the aisle.
The President of the United States, applaud, he's walking.
Well, it's like the chef in from the kitchen, here he comes, and then it's like the president's entourage that comes down there, but everybody has to come down, and when they do this, how long it takes. They shake the hands, they kiss, they talk about things, and so funny enough that the Fox News did leave the mic open and get up close, and the anchors stopped talking to hear what the president was saying to these people. Now, I always wanted to know what that was.
I'd never heard that, yeah.
So, when they opened it up, he grabbed somebody's hand and said, hey, how you doing? How's the family? And they said something, okay. And then this woman leans over to shake his hand, and he goes, hey, you look good in blue. Hey. So all these things that you're thinking they may be saying, be sure and talk about this, and be sure, don't forget to talk about this.
Oh,
yes,
what can I say?
That's right. And so anyway, it was just, that was just so ridiculous that they're having to take all that time for everybody to do that. And Sheila Jackson Lee.
Bless her heart.
Jackson Lee.
Cindy's got a thing against Cindy Jackson.
Well, I mean, I worked with her for a long time when I was with Time Warner. We did a lot of events with her, and it's just, people hide when they see her come because she has a lot she needs. She's a needy congresswoman, but which they all are. I'm not saying just her, but she just seems to be right there. And I think if I opened up, my wedding photos, she'd be there because she's in everything that you see in Washington. She's there, and so she's leaning over, kissing all that. Well, I found out why every State of the Union speech she is on that aisle. 5 a.m. is when she starts saving that place. And I don't know if it's her coming in, but somebody comes in and saves the place for her so that she's on that aisle right there. I think that's just so hysterical. So anyway, if they could just get that.
I wish she was our sales manager. We would get some action here. We would have free coffee, Cindy.
You would.
Yeah.
And her face would be on the little thing that you put on
our poster if we ever get one.
No, but she is something.
Oh, but Cindy,
did you know that? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, they say President of the United States, and they do all that and clap, clap. Finally, he gets to the podium, and somebody says, ladies and gentlemen, the president of the... They do it again, and then everybody stand up. Please.
Yeah, the Speaker of the House has to say that again. But these guys...
they've been doing that since before
she's
radio
saying.
and television.
That's what she's
I'm
saying.
saying the tradition of it, but these speakers, who are the guards? The
Secret Service?
No, the ones that announce the ones that announce it. They are
Sergeant of Arms?
Sergeant of Arms. That's
okay.
I knew it was something guarding, but they take it seriously. They never crack a smile, and when they're pushing those photographers and this camera's back, like, you better back off. And they're very serious about it. But you know who was in the house last night? You wouldn't expect? Willie Robertson.
Oh,
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty. Did they show him?
They showed him. Yeah.
I must have fast forwarded through that part.
You certainly could see him. Now, Mark, it is brilliant that you record it and then you go back through so you can get rid of the applause.
Yeah.
The applause gets to be ridiculous. Can't they say to them, look, at the end of the speech, that's when you do your applause. They do that at every other kind of event, but it's like a political pep rally, and they allow the applause. But I know that the Democrats go home with their hands so sore that they can't even do the clap on.
And you know
lights.
what so many Republicans are doing? They're looking at the Speaker of the House. Is he going to applaud? Because if he is, we'll applaud. And a lot of times he wasn't applauding,
But when everybody stood up together and applauded?
Military. If you say, give me a gun or blow something up.
Well, it was also about women need equal pay for equal. Work.
Who are you? If you don't applaud for that, you're a deep dude.
No, everybody stood up and applauded for that. But the longest was the guy that was sitting next to Michelle Obama, and when he told the story, and then he stood up. That was the longest ovation they've ever had. It was that guy was so precious, though. You just loved him and felt for what he's had to go through, but he was still
10 terms in the Middle East terms. 10 tours in the Middle East. That's ridiculous.
And he just wants to get better to get back at and all the things that happened to him.
Where did you guys watch it?
Uh-huh.
Where? Like on television?
Yeah, I did. Did you watch it on television or?
Oddly enough, I did.
Okay.
I was going to
Where
watch
did
it
you
in the
watch it on?
stars, but you know,
I watched it on YouTube. It was streamed live.
Oh, that's
on
right.
YouTube.
It was streamed live.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
and that
right.
was a really cool feeling.
you know what's
Because you could be anywhere in the world watching
and
it.
watch it. Sure.
What's
that's
weird
true.
about my YouTube, and Dick, you need to fix this for me. If I do not keep my cursor pointer thing up there in the picture, moving occasionally, it stops right there.
I don't know. That didn't sound like a YouTube problem. It sounds like a user problem.
Oh, well, what I'm saying
It's trying to
a
save your
computer
battery.
problem.
You may have
Yeah.
a setting to not. It goes.
Son of a gun, that may be.
It goes dark.
Hadn't thought, but it sounds brilliant.
But was it me though when I was watching it? Because they had like graphics up and all that. 'Cause they had graphics up for you guys.
No.
Yeah, when he was talking, it kind of gave you bullet points of what he's talking about.
Oh, they did do that. I'm sorry. Yes,
And
they did that.
it just kind of gives you a little
quotes.
bit more information
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Right.
But watching the whole deal, it made me feel like I was watching a fraternity video
Yeah.
that I wasn't a part of.
Yeah.
And it was just more of like, hey, you want to see what these guys are about? You want to join? You know what they're talking about? And I'm like, no, what's going on here?
That's what they were saying. Like it's like a political pep rally about, and that was the feeling of it. But it's so, I mean, it just makes me mad. And we're so ADD. We just don't have the attention that those people feel like they had a long time ago. It was the only thing on TV maybe that you could watch. But how much of that stuff and the applaud, the stop, all that stuff drives people to the shopping channel.
I just want to see a president just write it and send it in.
That's
Like
the way
they
it
do
used
in
to
all-
be.
yeah,
Send
the
it
way-
in.
I mean, I think that would be a great. Say, hey, we made it public too. You can read it. Here it is.
Here's the
Go.
receipt.
That's what George Washington did, and I think all the presidents up
Before
until
TV?
yeah, it might have been Andrew Jackson. I don't know who first went to the Congress. Somebody.
And they're not even required to do it.
No. And it was I think.
And now, bring your guest, and we'll get them on TV.
Yeah, they got the guest and all that, and the Walk of Fame or whatever.
How
shame
long
or
was it
whatever.
total? Was it like 4 hours?
No,
Oh, it was 2 hours.
Yeah, might have been. Justified still got on. That's the.
That's
As
what
long as-
Mark was like.
It was running
"Oh,
a little
why
late.
is this on?"
Justified.
Come on,
on,
wrap
yeah.
it up.
Okay.
Don't do that to us though. But okay. So when we come back though, we are going to talk about word association.
Yeah,
And
but-
so everybody get your pencils and paper ready too.
Yeah. Before we go, though, we got a couple of minutes, and I
Sure.
did want to mention this, Cindy, because it's eerie, fascinating. It's what's on PBS tonight. Can y'all believe this? Who wouldn't turn on their TV tonight and watch on PBS at 7 o'clock? It is The Funkiest Monkeys. No idea. 8 o'clock, though. Who would... Listen to this. The Ghost of Murdered Kings.
The Ghost of Murdered Kings.
I want to see that. And finally, at 9 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Hawking. I would listen to that guy's voice computer anytime. The most brilliant man
Really?
in the world. And he can, if you'll tape him and then play it during nighttime before you go to bed, it makes you think so hard it exhausts you and you go to sleep. Because there's
Wow, it reminds me of my math teacher in high school.
Exactly. But there are moments when Hawking's talking that I understand it. I'm getting there, and then all of a sudden I have no idea where I am.
And then he makes comments like, "Oh, black holes aren't real."
Yeah. What?
I mean, you're like, "WTF, man?"
Where's the food?
Yeah, where's the food?
Where is the
Okay.
food?
Where's the black hole?
Oh, speaking of
Yeah.
food, Dick, can we talk about? Let's talk about
Yeah.
the
We were supposed to be wrapping up.
Super Bowl.
I know,
And
but you
wrap
can
it up,
wrap
ladies
it
and
up.
gentlemen. Right
Yeah.
after these words, we're going to talk about food and how good it is. And
Have
it's
you
good for
ever
you.
cooked a pizza on the grill? Whoa. Richard has,
I
and he's
can't
going to
wait.
tell us about it when
I
we
am
come
so
back.
excited.
You're listening to the Mark and Cindy Show live Monday through Thursday
still
and
fun.
best of on Friday. We'll be right back.
You are the sun, I am the moon. You are the words I am.
The East Texas Dream Center is in need of your help. We are a nonprofit Christian organization that houses women and children who are trying to get their lives back after being homeless, abused, or addicted. We are conveniently located at 301 South 1st Street, Conroe, Texas, 77301, right here in Montgomery County. Our needs are financial and every needs of gasoline, cleaning supplies, laundry soap, Lysol, and whatever else God puts in your heart. To help our ladies and children, please consider a donation. You may visit our website at www.easttexasdreamcenter.org. Again, so you don't forget, it's www.easttexasdreamcenter.org. Donations are tax deductible. Remember what Jesus said, with God, nothing is impossible.
Hello.
This is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
To me, words that rang in me, rhyme that sprang from me, warm the night.
Good morning, everybody, and you're back on the Mark and Cindy show, and it is just 10:32, so it's not that far into the morning, is it? But the weather here is like all we can say is there's no snow, there's no rain, there's no sleet, there's no precipitation. There's only...
It's like we're in purgatory.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
It's
We're in
cloudy.
purgatory.
It's cloudy. Yeah, compared to the last 2 days. But this morning it was 22, I think, in Willis. And went out there, had to get something out of the car. And that cold just goes right through you. Oh, my word. It was so cold in Willis.
That Willis,
because the
y'all must
wind.
have
We have a lot of wind there.
caught the Canadian blizzard or whatever, because when I woke up, here's what's weird. My thermometer, sometimes pronounced thermometer, said
Yes.
35, and then an hour later it said 31, which is not possible. But
No,
anyway, I don't think it got that
that's
cold
very,
in Conroe.
That's very strange. But we don't want to forget about the Super Bowl.
The what? Is
The
that this
Super
week?
Bowl is coming up, and I know you guys have great plans and big plans. And I just wanted to mention, though, that New Jersey has already decided that their taxes could eat up all of Peyton Manning's Super Bowl earnings. That's already been calculated. So I don't know what the incentive is for making the touchdowns and all. If that's what you're going to find out, that what you earn, you could be eaten up in New Jersey taxes. So anyway,
Wait a second. So they get paid based off where they're playing?
they will charge people. That's why a lot of times they come in and they play stuff and they get charged. They are taxed a lot of times. And there was one golf player, who was the golfer, who said he was going to move out of there because of.
Well, Peyton Manning doesn't live in New Jersey, does he?
No. But
That's not her point.
No, they were saying like if he lived in New Jersey, all of his earnings could be
okay.
taken up.
I thought you were saying
the people that live there and they play sports and stuff. What's the incentive if you live there and played sports that all your earnings would be taken up in the taxes?
I'm pretty sure that's the case, too. They take all your money if you're in sports
money.
in New Jersey. They take all your money for
money
taxes.
so that they can.
Well, they're just upset.
That's on Fox News. Watch Fox News.
Everyone's going to New York.
Yeah.
That's why they're upset, because everyone's staying in New York and then going to the Super Bowl in New Jersey.
Okay, speaking of Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, I haven't. The Seahawks are going to win 24-21. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Cool.
Richard Sherman's going to make a touchdown.
His name can't be Richard. Is it Richard? It doesn't matter. But he was in the newspaper today. They had an interview and said he came across, very well among the people. He still said he cannot stand.
Look at that picture.
Ooh, yeah. Said he can't stand Crabtree. Didn't say anything good about him, but
He's
said
not taking that back.
good about his teammates. But what I was going to say is in the Chronicle today, they had a food section that's about stuff to make during the Super Bowl. And before you people got here, Dick was saying about he's going to have a Super Bowl party. He didn't know he was, but it turned into one of those. Mm-hmm. And he said he was going to do something with pizza that I had not heard before. So, Dick, if you will share this with us, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. I guess to introduce, I'm a scenario cook. So knowing what's going on, where I'm going to be, they're having a housewarming party, I guess Super Bowl party at my brother's house. And he's going to have a TV outside. And I was
What
like,
if
okay.
your plumbing's messed up, the septic tank? What do you cook? Scenario cook? I've never heard of such a thing.
Well, it's kind of like what do I want to be doing during the Super Bowl?
Oh, got it.
And
Okay,
if
that makes sense.
most of the time, this is probably about 20 years ago, people didn't even know you could put TVs outside. So people who were cooking, grilling, they're outside, not being able to watch the Super Bowl.
Isn't that funny?
You know, I mean,
all of a
that's
sudden they figured it out. Hey,
well, that's why a lot of people don't like grilling during the Super Bowl because they're gonna be missing the game back in the day. And now that my brother has a TV outside, I was like, well, I really want to be outside. The weather's going to be kind of nice. It's going to be like 50s. And I like grilling a lot. And so I was like, well, and then we have so many people coming, you got to have options. And what better food than a pizza that gives people options? Because I didn't want to do hot dogs. And I didn't want to do hamburgers because that's boring.
but how do you do the
Coaxial cable to get it
dough-
outside. I don't get it. I
Oh,
don't,
he's
I'm
still
sorry,
worried
I'm still
about
tied up
having
about
the
that.
TV.
You
out
didn't know
there.
they do Wi-Fi TV now?
Seriously.
Yeah, you have a box. You just have to plug into power, and it receives a signal from your central home, and you
Okay,
can
I'm out of
watch
here.
TV.
I can't. Life
I
is
mean,
just
it's
too
just
much.
passing you by
yeah.
technically.
But yeah, no, what you do, it's really simple, and it's actually really convenient because you can prepare the dough prior to the game and basically make each pizza.
Yeah.
And because I'm probably going to be making 12 pizzas, I think, total or something like that because how many people are coming. And you prepare the dough and you let it sit. And you can actually freeze it if you want the day before. And then when you're ready for the game, you basically stack it up like bread and put some wax sheets in between, you know. And so when someone's ready to eat, like, hey, what kind of pizza do you want? They choose their ingredients and you throw the pizza, cover it in olive oil on both sides, and basically flip it like a hamburger for 6 to 8 minutes. And then you give it to them and take it off and you give it to them. And then you can do it yourself. You can just put everything you want on it.
Oh, it's like building a sundae.
Yeah, and then you put it back
it's-
into the
okay.
grill and you just let it cook for 5 minutes. So total, each pizza should take about
That melts the
12
cheese.
to 7 minutes, or
You put
12
cheese
to
over it.
17 minutes.
You know, I
That's
do
so
not have the
cool.
patience to flip something for 5 to 6 minutes or 6 to 8. Can you? That is, and you're going to do that 10 times. That's 48 minutes.
Well, to be honest, I don't really care about the Super Bowl.
There you go.
there you go. You
You're
could
the
do-
perfect guy to be
exactly.
cooking.
But I love to grill and I love to sit with people. And
Yeah,
he
they
has-
come in and out, and if it's too cold to be out there, you have people coming in and out.
But I have a TV. That's what's important to me, so I know what's going on.
right.
Man.
Because that's actually what happened when I went there to test the kitchen. They were watching something and I couldn't watch it because I was outside. I'm like, we need to
Tested the
solve.
kitchen.
Yeah, we need to solve this issue.
No, so if you bring a date, or if a date happens to show up, then do you keep them out there with you while you're cooking, or do you let them go in and sit with people they don't know and watch the game?
I'll let them choose.
You know, that
Okay.
question is so fascinating to
Was
me.
it so
What
so
does
profound?
the girl do? I
What is
don't know.
There's an etiquette to that, I'm
It
sure,
is that.
somewhere. Okay, we're ready now to do our word association test.
Oh my gosh, I was hoping you'd forget, but go ahead.
Never. Okay, so you have your piece of paper.
Yep.
And you have a pen. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the word,
Okay.
and then the first word that comes to your mind, you write it down.
Don't think about it. Just say the word.
Don't think of it. Just say it. Just don't say the word. Just write it down.
What am I writing? Oh, I write it down. I
Yeah,
don't
you just
say
write
the
it.
word.
You don't have to say it. And then I'm going to tell what words you put next
Okay.
to it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here comes the words: food, teachers, women, leader, Super Bowl, movie, sermon, education, music, love. Put your pens down.
This is so. I mean, I am such a. This is going to show I'm nothing. Mark, you are the most boring human being.
Okay, let's see what we have here. Now, unbeknownst to Mark, I had Richard take the test at the same time.
Son of gun, the same
Yes,
time.
same time he was taking the test. So
I had-
when I call out the word, I'm going to say what you wrote, and then Richard's going to tell me what he wrote. And let's see how close you are in the way you
Okay, I
think.
think the first one we're going to nail it.
Okay, all right. In fact, Richard, hand your paper to Mark so you won't
Well,
cheat.
I didn't answer some of them because I wasn't paying attention.
What?
And then I
That-
started. So I'll just read it right here.
That in itself says something about
That
Dick.
does,
I don't
yeah.
know what it is, but
Okay, all right.
Well, I
Number
have a lot of
one.
stuff going on back here. I gotta make
that's
sure
true.
everything's playing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he's thinking of women.
Sure.
Yeah, when you said that, that's when I caught my eyes.
Stopped after women.
That's where I started.
Oh, okay. All right. Food. Mark said flatulent.
No, flax.
Flax.
It's the first word that came
What's
to my mind.
flax?
Flaxseed, in bread, flax.
Okay.
I'm kind of
And you
scared
can
where
use it
this
to
list
make
is taking
rugs
us.
and all and stuff.
What did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder how many people out there said flax. If you said flax, please call in to 647.
Boy, this is really telling. The next word was teachers. Mark put men.
I was thinking of me teaching.
You have unlocked your subconscious
I have.
mind. Okay. Women. Mark said men. Okay. That's understandable. That's okay. Leader. Frost.
I was just, the first thing came to my mind was cold stuff.
Frost.
I don't
Leader.
know.
Okay. That
It
would
makes
be
no
fun.
sense. Yeah.
Okay. Super Bowl game. So predictable. Okay. Movie.
Hombre.
Hombre.
Greatest movie in the
Oh,
world.
hombre. Oh, that's
Yeah.
your okay. Hombre. Wow. Sermon. Preach. Understandable.
Yeah.
Music. Education. Book. Music. Sound. Love. Kiss. Okay. Where did you start and what did you get?
I had women. I started at women.
Okay. Women.
I said beautiful.
Leader.
I didn't say anything for that.
Super Bowl.
Food.
Movie.
Enjoyment.
Sermon.
Boring.
Education.
Awesome.
Music.
Love.
Love.
Music.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very good. Very good. Super Bowl. Food. Okay.
Let's hear yours. Did you do yours?
No, I didn't do one.
That's tomorrow.
Uh-oh. Tomorrow?
But what does that say? What does it tell
Well,
us?
what they say is that when you do this, it's it gives an insight to your either what you think is opposite or you think of something that's the same. You don't give an opposite word or you give the same word, and that when you give an opposite word or oppose the word, then it's supposed to say something about you. But when you say something that's similar, it says, that you don't go outside of the box. Or anything.
That sounds like.
I think in that way they judge you that way. But when you said leader, both of you had, you said Frost, and he said nothing in leader. So it means that you have no respect, or there's no one that you define as a leader.
Wow, that's
okay. And teachers that are men, that you have always had a man as a teacher, and you became a teacher, and that's what it dominates the field as a man. And food flax was just totally. I don't know where they would find.
That
where
says
they would
something
find that.
about something.
But for you to say you knew the movie that you liked. Richard said, enjoyment. See, it's like you specifically have a movie that gave you so much enjoyment or whatever, and that you can remember that. I think a lot of times people see a lot of movies and there's nothing that they place a lot of emphasis on, or they don't talk about it, and it's more important to you than Richard would. But music and love is really interesting that he connects music and love, that when you hear music, do you get romantic, or that music brings on a romantic environment to you? See, it's so
It is
cool.
I would think, and that's what this was all about, actually, not thinking. But I am a person who would normally come up with the same, like food. Oh, a type of food. Movie. Oh, a type of movie. I don't say, movie, radio or whatever.
Right. Well, if someone said movie and you say cry, or emotions that it evokes from you.
Right.
But if you say a specific movie, that's what sticks in your mind, because that's what's been there and programmed in there for being what's important to you. But I just think it's fascinating when you're not thinking. What's hard is that everybody thinks too much to do these things, and they explain it. When you go movie, my favorite movie. No, just give me one word, and that's what's hardest for me to do whenever I do these.
This is somewhat tied to the reason I do not keep a diary. I tried once or twice, but I cannot be honest with myself in a diary. My thought is, while I'm writing, somebody's going to read this, and whenever somebody's
you're
giving
smart.
me,
You're smart.
that's other than
smart.
me. And so I can't, my true feelings, I say, oh, that's too dark, Mark. Don't think about, too many doubts. Don't think about that. And it's the same thing with this test. I might come up with, some kind of weird thing after you said something, and I said, no, I can't say that. And that's going through your mind so quick.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's what's interesting about it is to
tough.
make you, you be honest and make you say what what you think or you don't think, but not to have any answer. They say is just you're hiding things that you don't want to reveal what your answer would be because you're afraid it might be ridiculed or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I said the word leader and you had nothing, that was there a reason? Can you remember the reason why you said nothing, or you just don't think of it?
I was just responding to women, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're playing this game."
This is slightly tied to that, Cindy.
But leader, yeah, I mean, that's a good one to ask. I'm sorry I didn't come up with an answer. I'm sure I could if you asked it to me tomorrow.
Okay, I'll think about it, would you? Okay, thank you.
We may not have time for this, but I was going to say something, and sounds like a subject change, but it is right on. When I was teaching high school, seniors and juniors, I would say this at the start of the year about cheating because I was always concerned about it. And I said, if you ever cheat, and I say people... By the way, Mr. Hader, yes, I'm one of the ones that cheated on a test, and I wanted to tell them all right now, I don't remember jack. I really don't about who cheated, and it was just something I said.
You forgave them.
I forgave them, and all I remember now about teaching is mostly the good stuff. So if you were ever one and you're listening, I don't remember that. I do not remember who did what. But I do remember that Dick's given us the signal for we need to take a break. When we come back, we'll have an encouraging word, and Cindy's going to tell us who's going to be here tomorrow.
Yes, that's right.
Show.
Can't wait.
Now, Neil Diamond, please sing us into this break.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and/or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympics Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
Hi, this is Steve Scott, the Houston Business Coach. What is business coaching? Business coaching is about bringing accountability. Accountability is the key to shortening the time to accomplish what is valuable to you. Everything you do in business is part of a process. When you improve the process and add accountability, you will increase the odds of a successful outcome. And business coaching is for those individuals and companies who want to create pathways to accelerate the process of their successful performance. Regardless of what you wish to accomplish, seldom will your success exceed your personal development, your ability to grow your thinking. As a personal business coach, I take your goals and dreams, add some accountability, and help you close the gap between your intention and your results. To discover if personal business coaching is for you, call me at 281-376-2790. That's 281-376-2790, or visit me at www.thehoustonbusinesscoach.com.
Lone Star Internet Radio is now bringing you the weekly business hour show each Monday morning at 11 a.m. My name is Rick Schisler, and I will be your host. Each week we will be bringing you local, area, and national business news that you can use. The program will also feature an interview with a local or national business person who will share their own experiences, successes, and failures in operating their businesses. Our show is for anyone who already owns a business, whether they work solo or have employees, and for those who are thinking about starting their own businesses. A bit of information about myself. Again, my name is Rick Schisler, and I am a Silver Fox advisor who has over 40 years experience as a serial entrepreneur. As a part of our show, I will offer some advice and encouragement on our monthly topic, and I will take your questions by email at rschisler@silverfox.org or call into the station at 936-647-3776. See you on the radio Monday at 11 a.m. for the weekly business hour.
Another grace would save me.
Good morning, everybody.
You are the sun.
We and Neil Diamond welcome you back to the Mark and Cindy Show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just Wednesday morning. It's just Wednesday.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we're having a great week so far.
Cindy's been watching icicles fall off the...
I have. They're all gone now.
Yeah.
They're all gone. So, and that lady just went, and she missed her. So we're good. But
Tomorrow's show. What happened?
Tomorrow's show is going to be Ken Petty. Ken Petty is the publisher of the brand new publication, The Public News. That all works out well, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he said he's somehow related to Tom Petty. He said that.
He is. He is. We got to talk about that
Public News.
from one of some relatives back. He is related. He thought maybe the 35th, fourth cousin of Tom Petty.
Yeah, we're all related to Noah.
But he doesn't sing. But anyway, he's going to be here and talk about this free publication that's out there and that lets you in on all what's going on in the Montgomery County area. In fact, what's the byline on it? Not byline, but
Public News, the news, arts, and entertainment newspaper of Montgomery County, North Harris County, and Huntsville.
Well, and we know it's Huntsville because he's got that big old Sam Houston statue on the front of the cover.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to find these in many offices and probably the grocery stores and things like that around the area in Montgomery County. And it's cool to find out how somebody got into this, why, and what they're expecting to do in serving the Montgomery County area.
The ultimate guide of things to see and do without leaving the area. That ought to be interesting.
Plus, he has some controversial columnists, and he may be getting some new ones, but I can't say anything about it because it's a secret.
Speaking of something that's not a secret, but I think many people don't say anything about it, and I don't like to, but
you will.
This is an encouraging word. I was watching True Detective the other night. It's a new series, oddly enough, a detective series. It's got Matthew McConaughey and...
Wait a minute. As who?
Matthew McConaughey, isn't that his name?
Yeah, but he's on a TV series?
Yes, a series with Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson?
Yes. Anyway, I wanted to make this point. He's whoever writes the dialogue for this is some kind of weird... you don't understand 60% of what's coming out of... Matthew McConaughey's mouth. It's unbelievable. And Harrelson even makes mention, but he occasionally talks very philosophical or something. Mm-hmm. But anyway, they are looking for this suspect. They need to interview the preacher at this tent meeting, this revival. And inside are people that the stereotype of evangelical nutsoids, rural people, and they're in there going crazy. And Matthew McConaughey the whole time is talking to Woody Harrelson about belief and faith. And when you listen to him, I mean, and it's so philosophical and all, and he's running these people down, and you sit there, and my thought was, I would hate to be next to him to confront what he's saying, because, how can you confront what he's saying? Because, yes, that's what they're doing, and yes, that's probably what that guy's thinking. And it hit me at the time about doubt. When the times I start doubting my religion are when I do apply sight, common sense to to spiritual things. You cannot. What Matthew McConaughey believes is, no, that preacher in there and all of this and the blood in all of my veins just happened. It's just perchance. And yet to try to explain a God who did all of this, you can't. And it deals on faith. And if God ever showed himself right here, well, faith is gone because there he is. I cling to faith. And it's sometimes hard to do, but to cling to faith. And what it hit me, Cindy, was the fact that I related it to car wrecks. car wrecks, in order to get in a car wreck, sometimes one thing can happen. You take your eye off and you run into something. But it's usually a perfect storm that hits. So the guy in front of you is getting ready to stop real quick because a cat's going across the deal. You're listening to a phone. You just roll the window down to spit out the gum you've got, and the guy stops, and when you look up, you hit him. It's not one thing. It's multiple things.
Right.
It's the same way with faith. If I see Matthew McConaughey or whatever, my faith is strong enough to stay through that. But then something else, I'm with a friend and they start, hey, what's wrong with it? And I start giving away to that, I didn't read my Bible, I didn't do this, I don't want to go to church. Eventually, I find myself in the perfect storm situation where I doubt. And I don't know if that's what happened to Derek, who was here before, but I assure you it wasn't one thing that came to the person.
I so agree.
And the only deal, if you ever say, well, I'm not worried about that, then you need to start worrying about it, because as I mentioned the last time we were here, your battle is not against flesh and blood, it's against forces of this dark world, spirits of evil. And if you can stay close to God all the time, and I read today about someone who said, you can pray, you can read your Bible every day and go to church, but unless you feel close to God, it's not going to help you that much when these things happen. And that's why, Cindy, I know you do this, and I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm the last person to get on a pedestal anywhere. But when I wake up of a morning, I go outside sometimes, I just get a sense, it's beautiful, thank you, God. And when I'm driving down there and something happens, I remember something, thank you, God. It's like He's here, and I'm recognizing that. And if you don't recognize that during the day, the little things that happen to you, you can distance yourself.
Exactly. That's why an ongoing conversation, which is, they say just continually being in conversation with Him, and not in a weird, strange way where it looks like you're talking to yourself, but just these are things that are going on that you are thanking Him for, and that, like at night, and we live in the perfect place to walk out at night and look up in the sky and know that He's always there. He's always there. Even if the clouds may be over there, you know that right above those clouds are the stars, and that He's got this, and the doubt should help take the doubt away. I agree so much with you. There was something that you mentioned while I was gone that I talked about with Derek about in Proverbs 22:6. It says, bring up a child in the way he should go, and even when he's old, he won't depart from it. And that so funny that you had said that, because my brother-in-law, who's the theologian and has his doctorate in theology and all, was talking to me and said that we have misinterpreted that. They feel like, because of going back and studying the translations and all, is that what that was saying was, if you train up a child in the way he will go, that when he's old he won't depart from it. It wasn't a promise from God that says that if you do this or you can't. But I think the wisdom of that is there.
Right.
That if you train up a child in the way that this is the way he should go, because when you're old, you won't depart from it, means that you take these values all along. But it does not mean that you don't slip away, decide to do your own thing, you're going to rebel and all that. And then when you get get old, that you come back to that. This is what my mama told me, and she was right. Because how many times have we had the deathbed confession and all that's happened? But I think that it is a great promise with hope. And I think the hope is there.
You've got to do that, parents. But if it doesn't work in your case, don't blame yourself. Your child has freedom of choice, and stuff happens.
God was the greatest parent of all, and look what His kids did. They got kicked out of
exactly.
He had to deal with it too.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the Mark and Cindy show here on this Wednesday, January 29th. Tomorrow's my sister Susan's birthday. That's a shout out for her.
Happy
Thank you so
birthday,
much for
Sue.
listening. Catch us on Archives, ladies and gentlemen. And tomorrow we have got Ken Petty. I'm sorry, Ken.
Ken Petty. It's going to be fun. And Guy, remember guys, to smile, enjoy. Make somebody else happy. Think of somebody else besides yourself. And remember that God loves you, and God's got this.
Never know who's gonna come around on the Mark and Cindy show. Let's Mark and Cindy.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.